Hey, it's Jed from Ambient Array. Let's talk a little bit about why your digital campaign may not be working. So there's a lot to unpack here, but let's oversimplify a little bit by putting it in two domains or two buckets, okay? I call it the conversion equation. And before I give you that equation, let me tell you what I mean by conversion. Conversion in this sense just means something that happens on your website after someone visits that you want them to do. That could be buy something, the most obvious one. It could also be filling out a web form with their name and information. It could be calling you. It could be watching a certain video or even scrolling down a certain distance on a page. Basically, you can define a conversion however you like. But the conversion is what you want. So you don't just want someone to visit your website, you want them to convert once they get there. That's super important. So if you haven't heard that word before, I suggest adding that to your vocabulary. Conversion. It's really important. Often it's used in the term acquisition. So CPA means cost per acquisition, but acquisition is really just a conversion. It's another way of saying it. Okay. So let's go into the conversion equation. So what does that really mean? So when I'm a digital marketer and I'm analyzing how to see whether a campaign's been successful or how to make it better, if a customer comes to me and says, hey, we've been running ads and they're just not working for us, what do you guys recommend? There's really two things that I'm going to look at, big picture, okay? And I want to share that with you right now. The first one is the quality and amount, so quality and quantity of the traffic or the people or the sessions, however you want to say it, that are coming to the website, okay? And we call that driving traffic, because if we're running an ad campaign, we are driving traffic, much like in the old days they would drive cattle, same exact idea, only you're driving traffic. So you're driving traffic to the website. Once it's there, that's kind of the first part. And each one of these has a lot to unpack, but we'll just go a little bit of detail here. So drive traffic, that's the first part of the equation. Once they get to your website, what do you want them to do? You want them to convert, like we talked about a little while ago. The conversion has to do with two things: the quality, like I said, of the traffic and how many of those quality visitors you're getting. And then, of course, on the website side, it's once they've gotten to the website, are they able to find what they need? Are they able to click around? And we call it a conversion path. We want to have a direct conversion path from that first page they land on, which we call the landing page, all the way up to any other pages they might visit. Hopefully, you're going to get them to convert on that exact same page they landed on. Doesn't always happen, though. If it's a e-commerce site, for example, they might need to click around a little bit to find the web store, okay? But you want them to find that conversion action in as few clicks as possible. That's super important. And there might be messaging on the website, layout. In other words, how are things arranged on the page? Are you saying the right things? Do you have a video? Is the site engaging? Or is it overwhelming? Is there too much going on the page? All of these things matter to a high converting website. So take it quicker. So we have the traffic coming to the site. That's part of the conversion equation. And then we have, once they get, we're analyzing a digital ad campaign, we will tackle both of those parts of the conversion equation. There's thousands and thousands of factors, believe it or not, or at least hundreds and hundreds that could affect what happens on the traffic driving side. And there are probably at least as many factors that can happen over on the conversion side. And that's the magic. That's my team has a collective about 100+ years of doing this kind of thing amongst ourselves. We have been doing this for so long that there are so many things we can look at. There's no way one video could cover it. In fact, the expertise that we have is really impossible to write down completely. We do our best to give you free information on videos like this, but to really have it work for you, you need to hire an expert who actually has been doing this for years and years. We'll be able to spot what's not been working for you. And if we're not quite sure of all the factors, we're going to test them. We're going to test it methodically and scientifically to figure out what's actually working or not working. So that's our mental model for looking at your digital campaign. If you're struggling with your campaign right now, I just really recommend you become an expert on how to drive the right kind of traffic with the right platform, the right audience, the right spend, all that good stuff. And then, of course, once they get to the page, make sure you have optimized that page and your offer, right? Your business needs to be attractive to them. Your offer, the pricing, the value, all of that's really important also. So if you're not getting conversions, it's probably something in those two areas. In fact, we can say with certainty it is something in those two areas that if you drill down to the right place and just far enough, you're going to find what's causing people to not convert, and you're going to make changes and you're going to get them to start converting. Once you do that, your cost per acquisition, your CPA, is going to go way down, and your CFO, your CMO, your CEO, and everyone else will be a lot happier because you'll be actually driving traffic that's converting. So if you have questions about that or just want to know more, talk to the experts at Ambient Array. Just reach out to me or my team on the website, ambientarray.com. Fill out a web form or give us a call. Can't wait to talk to you more about it.